Welcome back everyone, great to have you here, and we're going to talk about why I bought this Leica Q3 and what it's done for my photography. Now, in case you don't know me, I'm a commercial photographer by trade. That is my day job. That's all I do all day is photograph stuff for businesses. I work business to business. Go and check out if you want to see some of my work. But my personal side of photography has always been sort of landscapes or street photography. And in all fairness, as I've got a bit older, I've not done so much landscapes and I've not liked to take so much kit away with me when I go and do stuff, and I'd got a little bit stayed in my photography, I've got to be honest. On the personal side of stuff, work side, great, I got kit galore that does what I need, it's ready for the job and it just works, and we experiment and buy new kit every now and then. But my personal side of stuff, that had sort of dwindled a little bit, and I'd lost that spark, that passion for going out and taking some photographs because I wanted to take them. And that's what I missed. And I got into that again through the Nikon ZFC. And it was small, it was compact, and it allowed me to just go and take photographs. I stuck a 24mm lens on it, and that's the only lens that I used on that in terms of things like street and everything else. It was a beautiful, beautiful lens. I think it's a 1.7, I think, off the top of my head. But it was a crop sensor and it sparked it a little bit again. But I wasn't quite getting fulfilled. That's when I decided to start looking and seeing what I could have that was going to bring that spark back. And in all fairness, it was this, and I'd ummed and ahed about it for quite a long time as to A, which camera I was going to get and what I was going to do. But there's a couple of surprising things about getting this camera and what it's done, even for my commercial work as well, which I find amazing. I wanted to get this because it was fixed lens. No swapping lenses, no going, oh, do I need that lens, do I need that? This is what I take and that's it. Now the added advantage that it's a 60 megapixel camera allows me to do the punch in, and you've got the button on the back which allows you to crop in on the image. It still keeps the raw file with the original 60 megapixel image, but it allows you to crop into, I think, 35, 50, 75 and 90, I believe it is, on the range. 90 is pushing it, I've got to be honest. It's great for social media. For anything else, I'm not convinced, I've got to be honest. But that allowed me to have some options in camera. And when I went to try this, and I went to the Leica store in London to try this, I knew that the lens was good. But when I actually tried it and I saw the results, and I took my own memory card down so I could get some photos off it and have a look and check things out. When I looked at that, I was over the moon with the quality that I was getting out of this at 1.7. It's just phenomenal. And I think part of that is the fact it's full frame. That really helps. It is a genuine 1.7 on a full frame sensor. Yeah, and the other thing that surprised me was the macro side of it as well. I love doing macro photography. It's another one that's crept in as I've got older into the hobby side of stuff. And this allows me to do that as well. And I've created some stunning images with this camera and that. So was it worth the £5,500 British pounds that it cost in terms of what I get out of it? I think yes. And I say that from the reason of I want to use this camera. I want to go places to use this camera. That is, to me, bringing the spark back into photography. And I love that fact that I've got that spark back from this point of view. It has enabled me as well to create some projects that I probably wouldn't normally do because I do projects every day for work. But now I've come up with projects for this, to take this along and just use this as my one source camera to do those projects. Because I just think the images that I get out of this are gorgeous. There are some limitations to it. There are some quirks. It's not 100% perfect in what it gives me, but I sort of like that at the same time as well. My main quirk is the presets that you get in this camera that just apply to JPEG. Fine, I get the fact that it's done in camera and that, but you can't emulate it successfully in Lightroom afterwards. You have to use the JPEG. Now, I have tried creating my own presets, and I've seen a few other people try it as well. But I actually think that this is intelligent, and it's looking at the picture and deciding what to do with that picture when it applies the preset. So it's not a one preset and that's it. It's a one preset with adaptive control. It looks at it. Do I need to sort those highlights out? Do I need to sort those shadow areas out? And it's probably got some rules in there as well. And that could be one of the reasons why Leica have never released it into Lightroom like some of the others. It could just be they want to keep it proprietary. That's the word. They want to keep it proprietary because, you know, if you could do that on this, then you could go and take that to something else. I don't think you'd get over what this lens can do regardless of that. I think that's a different kettle of fish. But yes, I've also done some upgrades to it and various bits and pieces, and that will be different videos. So if you want to see more of those, subscribe and see what I've done to this to make it more personal for me. But that said, this gets me back out into photography. So if you are thinking of jumping ship and trying it, I think it's great. One thing it has taught me from a commercial point of view is technology moves on and quality moves on. And I think this is probably a stepping stone between where I'm at commercially and my kit I've got for that, which is all top of the range pro kit. But I think this is in between that and medium format, in all fairness. I think it's just got that little edge, and that's to do with the lens and the quality. Admittedly, I couldn't use this commercially for all the shots that I do. It just wouldn't be suitable, and it's not for that. But it's made me think a little bit more now about what I do, and do I need to look at that? Will that benefit it? Will I get money back from work for upgrading my kit? I don't know if I can be bothered at this stage of my career. I'm 15 years in as a commercial pro photographer. I've sort of made my bed, I'll lie in it, and I'm starting to wind down as opposed to anything else in reality, from buying new kit and investing and everything else. So yeah, but if you're young, it's going to open your eyes. I've got to be honest. There's a lot there. So that's why I've switched. That's what makes this so great. And yeah, there's going to be a few more videos around this in reality, because I think it's a beautiful piece of kit. And yeah, we'll talk some more. So look forward to seeing you on the journey. Hope that inspired you to get back out and do some photographs. If it did, comment down below. Love to know it. And look forward to seeing you soon.